There is a food shortage in Russia that affects the Russian military too. It's becoming increasingly difficult to Putin at home to sell this war as a success.
We are ramping up pressure on Putin, both military and economic.
We count that we destroyed 20% of refineries on Russian territory.
Shortly before the onset of winter, Putin is once more deliberately destroying power plants and other energy infrastructure in Ukraine. We have seen this happen in previous years too. It is a particularly malicious way of terrorizing the Ukrainian people. Germany is supporting Ukraine with around 9 billion euros this year, and we will continue our support at this level on this level. From this amount, we are currently preparing a package worth 2 billion euros. It will contain missile defense systems, state-of-the-art radar technology, and ammunition. We also participate, of course we do, in Pearl, the prioritized Ukraine requirements list with an investment of $500 million. Air defense is at the very core of our support and has been being from the beginning of the war on. We will therefore continue to invest in Ukraine's air defense and counter-drone measures. And with our enduring action on air defense initiatives, we are inviting our partners to support projects in the area of air defense. Clearly, Ukraine's defense industry is powerful and innovative. It is worth investing in, and we will help turn creative developments into reality and make proper use of existing capacities. Germany is providing 400 million euros for the procurement of long-range drones. This helps Ukraine engage Russian logistic assets beyond the front line. We are seeing some success. There is a food shortage in Russia that affects the Russian military too. It's becoming increasingly difficult to Putin at home to sell this war as a success. We can and want to learn from Ukraine and benefit from its experience. This is at the heart of the cooperation agreement signed by Dennis and me. We are intensifying the collaboration between Germany's and Ukraine's defense industry. We are promoting cooperation on research and technology development. That way, we are facilitating the exchange between our two countries and industries. We are making work and study visits easier, for example, and we are promoting armed forces cooperation on training and on mutual logistic support. While this supports Ukraine, the knowledge and technology transfer strengthens our own defense capabilities as well. We are also launching a modernization initiative. Its aim is to increase the combat power and the service life of the land systems we already deliver to Ukraine. Major combat systems such as main battle tanks and infantry fighting vehicles are to be upgraded to comply with the latest standards. Those include new guns and innovative sensors. The upgrades will primarily be conducted in the existing maintenance in Ukraine. Ukraine's defense industry will be, of course, involved in this. This will be an investment in the long-term build-up of Ukraine's armed forces, and this means it will last even after a potential ceasefire. John Dennis, thank you for your very close cooperation. Close coordination with partners does make a difference. We continue to stand firmly by Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, over 50 nations came together in the Ukraine Defence Contact Group, a powerful demonstration of our broad and enduring support for Ukraine and their fight. Our mission remains as strong and as clear as ever. First, to ensure that Ukraine's armed forces have what they need to fight. Second, to work to secure peace for tomorrow. And third, to stand ready to step up still further. But until peace comes, Ukrainians, both military and civilians alike, continue to fight with huge courage. So our determination must match their defiance. Our support must match Putin's escalation, and our role as nations within the UDCG is to guarantee Ukraine's strength. In the last 8 months, in that period that Boris and I, Germany and the UK, have taken over the leadership and chair of the UDCG, the group has successfully raised pledges of over £50 billion for military aid to support Ukraine. For our part in the UK, we're spending more in military aid for Ukraine this year than ever before. In the last 6 months, we've delivered 85,000 drones to Ukraine, and Ukraine and the UK continue to deepen our industrial partnership. Through a new agreement that Minister Shmyhal and I have signed, we will now jointly develop improved interceptor drones and then mass produce them and get them back into Ukraine in the thousands each month. We are ramping up pressure on Putin, both military and economic, and the UK today has confirmed 92 new sanctions on Russia's energy sector, oil companies, and military supply chain. A secure Europe needs a strong Ukraine. But as we discussed at the meeting of defence ministers this morning, we've seen how President Putin's aggression is not confined to Ukraine. Drone incursions into Poland, violations of Estonia's airspace, election interference in Moldova. Deliberate or not, Putin is watching what we do, and he should be in no doubt that if NATO is threatened, we will act. He should be in no doubt we will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. Thank you.
Minister Shmyhal.
Dear colleagues, Secretary Healey, Minister Pistorius, today we held the 31st Ukraine Defence Contact Group meeting. UDCG remains the most important platform for coordinating international military aid to Ukraine. Dear John, dear Boris, thank you so much for your co-leadership on that platform. Ukraine is committed to peace, but we all understand Russia remains the greatest threat, not only to Ukraine, but also to all of Europe. That's why we held to act together. We need bold actions to increase pressure on Russia to stop this war. First of all, Ukraine must be strong on the battlefield. The Pearl Initiative is a high-value NATO mechanism that converts allied support into tangible capabilities for Ukraine. I am grateful to our partners from Sweden, Latvia, Estonia, Denmark, Norway, and Slovenia for announcing contributions to the new Pearl package, but today more partners join to these contributions, and we will see much more results after today's meeting, and we are so much grateful to all the nations. It will enable us to procure the weapons we urgently need to save more lives. That includes Patriot systems and other critical US equipment. Ukraine also counts on continued coordination and financing from our partners to ensure timely deliveries through Pearl in 2025. Our next priority is Ukraine's defense industry. In 2026, we will be able to build 20 million FPV, ISR, and other drones if partners commit the necessary funding. There are cost-efficient, swift, and combat-proven solutions. I want to thank the UK for our active cooperation in the field of interceptor drones and for providing, as Secretary Healey announced, 85,000 drones this year. Today we also signed an important memorandum with Germany to strengthen defense cooperation between our countries. Thank you, Minister Pistorius. These are concrete steps to repeal Russian aggression and build an effective arsenal of democracy. Another important point today, a memorandum was signed regarding the Nordic-Baltic initiative to provide equipment and training for Ukrainian brigades on the territory of Poland. This initiative will strengthen Ukraine's defense capacity and help bring a just peace closer. During our discussion today, we also put special focus on Ukraine air defense needs. As the winter approaches, Russia is intensifying its brutal air attacks targeting our energy infrastructure. Last Friday, Russia struck Kyiv's main power plant with ballistic missiles, leaving half of the city without electricity. We are asking our partners to provide the so-called winter air defense package, a sufficient stock of interceptors to protect our civilian population and our civilian infrastructure. We are grateful to all countries that announced today their commitments to keep supplying our forces with what they need. I want to say thank you to all nations who today announced their commitments, who support Ukraine during all of this period. We believe and expect that this comprehensive support will continue. Ukraine's total defense requirement for 2026 is estimated as $120 billion. Half of this, $60 billion, will be covered from our national resources, despite the ongoing full-scale war. We call on each ally to allocate 0.25% of its GDP next year to cover the other half of these needs, because supporting Ukraine's defense means supporting Europe's security. We are grateful to our European partners for practical initiatives that strengthen Ukraine's defense programs such as SAFE, Pearl, and ERA. At the same time, Russia must pay for its unprovoked aggression. It is essential that Russian frozen funds continue to work for Ukraine's benefits. That is why we recently proposed reparation loan backed by frozen Russian assets is so important to us. It provides a lawful and sustainable way to finance Ukraine's needs. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, colleagues, let me once again express my gratitude to Secretary Healey and Minister Pistorius for organizing this UDCG meeting. Thank you. Thank you, partners, for stepping up your support. Peace in Ukraine must be just, lasting, and protected by international unity. Together, we are working to achieve it in shortest way.